Blast from the Past Part 2. This is not the Bugatti, this is the Voisin. The what? Find out right here, right now. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to RomRom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to It's a Mod world where we check different mods for different sims to see if they add to our enjoyment. You are watching an aeroplane. No, really, this car was made by Gabriel Voisin, which in French means Voisin planes. Voisin was the name of the maker, Gabriel Voisin, and after building aircrafts from 1905 to 1919, he moved to building cars. This here is one of the first monocoques that were ever built under the name Laboratoire Grand Prix Voisin, and it's a car from 1923. Don't forget, if you want to be informed about new videos, click subscribe and also click on the bell, and then enjoy our channel. Look at this, I'm flying! I've heard of helicopter parenting, but never of helicopter driving. I suppose this is for the radiator, but somehow I'm not sure that this cools the radiator and therefore the motor exceedingly. Interesting form for the wheel. It's similar to what many car makers are adopting today, at least below. Look how shiny this car is. And the front axle is wider than the rear axle. That's interesting. The motor sound is quite different from the Bugatti. Not only isn't it as loud as it was with the Bugatti, it sounds more realistic. The sound clearly has more bite than the Bugattis. And when you reach the rev limit, that's the sound the motor makes. I don't think that's very realistic. It sounds a little bit like a limiter, but I don't think that they had limiters at those times. Driving this car feels strange because there are too many moving parts. The ventilator, everything moves, you can see everything. The highest speed you can reach with the Voisin is not as high as with the Bugatti, but the Voisin is much more stable than the Bugatti. And it's also easier to catch any oversteer that this car should have. Should you start to lose control, you can recuperate control much easier than with the Bugatti. It's okay that it doesn't reach high speeds because the brakes are not very good. And last but not least, the force feedback is very good, although not as good as with the Bugatti, but still good enough. From the AI point of view, the mod holds itself quite well in a race, and when you're racing it yourself, while the car may not be as fast as the Bugatti, it's more stable, so you trade speed for being able to control this car better. In my experience, I was faster with the Voisin because I had to spend much less time trying to keep it on track. Now that I've made enough jokes about the propeller, no, the propeller is not cooling the motor, but the propeller is driving the cooling pump that drives the motor. It's a strange way of doing that, but hey, it was the time where prototypes were even more prototypes because they were testing anything that might work at all. The short axle at the rear was made specifically so that it would not need a differential and therefore weigh less. In our research, we found at least one race where this car raced against the Bugatti. The Bugatti was third, the Voisin arrived fifth. Voisin designed this car together with André Lefebvre, the latter being known for his designs for Citroën, including the 2 Chevaux and the DS series. What can I say? Nicecuppatea has done it again. He's transported me to the 1920s and to racing in the 1920s. The look and animations of this car and in this car help a lot with the immersion. You really feel inside of the car, especially with VR. So for the look, I'm giving it 5 eyes out of 5. In my opinion, the sound is better than in the Bugatti, also because it's not as loud. The only thing that disturbs me is the error where the Voisin sounds as if you get into the limiter, but that's not that big of an error in my opinion, so for the sound I'm gonna give it 5 ears out of 5. On the other hand, the driving feeling in my opinion is not as good as in the Bugatti. The force feedback felt better in the Bugatti with regards to realism. It felt more like those cars drove. This here is, I think, too easy to drive, even considering that the Voisin drives differently than the Bugatti. So for the driving feeling, I would say 4 wheels out of 5, as it's not as realistic as the Bugatti, but I'm pretty sure Nicecuppatea, if I went wrong here, is gonna tell me he's a very nice guy. Like it was with the Bugatti mod, this mod here gives you a great feeling, a great immersion. If you want to sit down with friends or just other racers and you want to feel how it was driving in the 1920s at the beginning of racing, these two mods are perfect. I think that you are gonna have a lot of fun driving those. Of course, only if you are middle to expert, as these are not easy cars to drive. While I'm always very thankful to all mod makers because they're bringing us a lot of joy, I would especially like to thank Nicecuppatea for bringing us these very, very, very old cars, which we never would have a chance to drive, and of course also for being such a good sport commenting our first mod review. You don't want to drive in the 1920s? Don't worry, we have tons of videos sharing the joy of sim racing with mods and other. Check them out. Thank you very much for watching this video, and thanks for all the comments. We'll love to hear from you. If you like this video, applaud by giving it a thumbs up and share it around. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to be informed about new videos and to become part of the ever-growing RomRom family. And if you already did, thank you very much for that. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium.
Visit romrom.net to connect to fellow sim racers and sim racing fans.